Hello, all you wonderful people. I'm Lisa, and it's good to see y'all back. And this is day 266 of quarantine. No, not really. We're just kind of in our, probably second week, I think. But it seems like it's been a really long time. And it doesn't look like anybody's going to go back to school this year. Um, so we are all hankering down. So far, doing so good. Um, I went to Marion to bring up below, fix my dad's truck. I got my dad's truck fixed, best could, and then we got up here with a loaded truck, a loaded trailer, and a loaded car, and I used up the entire storage unit, and there's a lot of stuff that is not here yet, and so I'm gonna have to rent another one. But I'll wait till it's closer to time that we're gonna go get it. They have locked down the county that my dad's house is in. I think that was a rumor anyway. Um, and so I can't go back there for a while. So there's no reason to rent another one until I get ready. I'm gonna have to get a U-Haul the next time uh, to take it and bring it up here. So we just basically been doing nothing here. I have gone out a few times to pick up medicine and to do some appointments for things that the people aren't canceling. Orthodontist is still open for business, so got to go to the orthodontist on Tuesday. Therapist visits for they're not closing, so we're going to keep those. Of course, that's one-on-one, so that shouldn't be a big deal. It's more for the therapists, kind of have all those people coming in than for us. No music lessons. We're pretty much just staying in. They and I want to say something to Jill that she's watching. Um, social. I forget what you said. Did you call it in where you're at? Social isolation or something like that. They're calling it here. Uh, uh, stay. Shoot, I forget something about something in place. Um, uh, it's like I don't know, but it's a term that I couldn't figure out what they were talking about for the longest time. I've never heard it before in my life, and uh, so it took me forever to figure out um, cover uh, cover. I don't know, but it means stay to isolate. It's what it means. Um, shelter defense, shelter, shelter defense. Um, shelter in place. Shelter in place is what they say. Um, I don't know where they came up with that shelter in place thing, and that was bothering me for a long time when I heard it because it was like shelter in place. What in the world does that mean? And it literally did take me a couple of days, a couple of times hearing it before I figured out that they meant stay home. but but if they would just say isolation at home, it would make much more sense than uh, what they're saying. So I don't know whoever came up shelter in place, but those are the I those words don't make any sense as far as taking cover in your house and um, heightened, isolating. The boys are doing very well. They are both the older ones are starting businesses. One had already started it before school got out, and the other one's trying to start now. Um, he's trying to got one that is trying to kind of make money with hoodies about what's going on now, and I can't say it because then, well, I don't get monetized. I'm not monetized anyway. Um, about the coronavirus or um, COVID-19. I'm not saying the right words, but um, you you know about me, and I don't blame him. And some of the things they have come up with, him and this girl that he's going into business with, um, some of them are a hoot. They're really funny, and so um, they are funny. And so the second one, the one that's in the shoe business, and I'm his business partner, um, he thought that people might find it offensive. And I said, well, maybe, but maybe not too, because, um, it's sometimes you just gotta laugh because otherwise you go crazy. And then I was telling them a story about Joan Crawford. Only they don't know who Joan Crawford is. I just said a famous actress. That her daughter, after she died, her daughter wrote a book about her and about how awful she was and got real rich over it. And at the time, people were kind of saying, well, that's not fair because she can't defend herself. They wait until after she dies to criticize her. She's never had a chance to defend herself. And that's just not right that you wait till after they die. And my mother looked at me and she said, if you can write a book about me after I'm dead and make $1 million, you go for it. So, sometimes you just got to go for it. And so, I wear stuff all the time that's meant to offend somebody, that I'm sure offends somebody, but a lot of times they don't understand. They don't understand what I'm doing, and so that's okay. But I don't want y'all to think I'm wearing the same shirt all the time, because I'm not. This one is people should seriously stop expecting normal from me. And it's got an elephant, and then at the bottom it says, we all know that's never going to happen. And so I have several blue hoodies, but baby blue hoodies, but they don't all say the same thing. So that's a new one for me. We are going. I've been trying to get some groceries because I stock up. I always have stocked up, so I always stock up before winter because of danger of blizzards. But I did not do any panic buying, and so now it's our regular every 2 weeks time to shop, and can't get anything. The only meat I was able to get was 10 patties of hamburgers meat. That's the only meat that was available. There's no flour or sugar to be had, and the things that were left were not things that caught my eye. But the weird thing was, there were things, if you go through, and like Walmart did theirs better than Kroger did, in that they put stuff that was out of stock. And so you'd go and see what was in stock, and it's amazing what kind of the things they had plenty of. Was like they had plenty of zucchini, if you want zucchini, There were things in there that I'd forgotten that ever existed, and that was like that deviled ham brand had the little devil on it. I remember that from when I was a kid. I hadn't seen that or thought about it since, and so I bought one just because I remember liking it, but I can't remember what it is. Um, they're out of spam. You can't even get spam. And I'm lucky I've got a lot of stuff in the freezer, deep freeze. And then when I filled out the thing for delivery or to go pick up from Walmart, um, I had my basket full, and then they didn't have any pickup times available for days, and so they told me to keep checking back. So I checked back. I started it on Friday. This is Sunday, and so I checked back, and they had openings for tomorrow, and so I picked it, and then they listed half of the things I ordered, and all of the things that were staples as no longer available. And so I don't know what I'm going to get tomorrow. I don't think I'm going to be able to get what we need, but right now the only thing we need that we don't have is flour and sugar. But rest of it will get by, and I'm not too worried about it. But it'd be easier to start baking our own bread. We used to do that when I first got sick and had no income. We baked our own bread, but it takes a lot of flour to do that. Because you have to have one loaf. You have to cook 2 loaves. The first loaf, you have to eat it as soon as it comes out, and then the second loaf is for using later. And so, if I come across some here and there, I'm gonna snatch it up. But right now we're going on about, oh gosh, not even a fourth a bag of sugar, and we've got about almost a bag of flour left. And so that's the only thing I'm worried about, because I think the rest of it we can, heaven knows we can have eggs every day and be all right. But it would be nice. It'd be nice to have a little bit of something else every once in a while. I had a thought and I lost it. The panic buying is just shameful, I think. There's no reason for it. If everybody just shopped normal, like they do, there'd be plenty. But every time stuff gets on the shelves, everybody grabs it. And I talked to a friend today that basically thought this was the end of the world, and I don't believe it's the end of the world. I think it's just an illness that they don't have a cure for, and we just have to be careful about not getting it. And so I don't think it's a thing. The craziest thing I heard, though, is that the kids graduating high school this year will not get to go to senior prom, and will not get to go through commencement because of the quarantine. And those seniors are the same children that were born in 2001, 9/11. And I'm not too much of a conspiracy person, but sometimes it makes you wonder, So I said, well, their next milestone is when they turn 21, so that gives us 3 years. And then the next milestone they'll reach altogether is retirement age. And so I'll be dead by then. because they won't get married at the same time. They won't have kids at the same time. Nothing else is the same until retirement age. So I don't know. We'll see if anything happens in 3 years. Because I didn't realize it until yesterday, and somebody was telling me about it. So that was crazy. Because I had not figured it out, but it's true. I thought it was a joke first, but it wasn't. I have been on the phone more with friends and family, and that helps. I'm really tired. I'm worn out but I say that every time. It's a general thing. I have not found the ring. I lost my checkbook. And, thought I found my checkbook, but I didn't. I lost my checkbook. We checked down Marion. It went down Marion. I went through all the boxes that we loaded the last time, thinking I might put it in there. Nope, it's not in there. So it's probably on this table that the computer sits on, is my guess. It's around here somewhere. So I will find it. As far as the ring goes, I don't know. I can't imagine where. I remember putting it on that thermostat thing, and it has it comes to a point at the top. It's made out of glass, and I remember thinking, I hope it doesn't break the glass. Which is kind of silly. It's not going to break the glass, but I can't imagine where I would have thought a better place was. I don't know. I really don't know. So I just keep looking for stuff while I talk about it. And so I'm feeling better than I was the other day. About, I think a lot of it's stress, getting that house ready. Because I felt a lot better about the house, because the guy that's working for me is excellent. I wish I could keep him in my pocket and bring him back to home with me and let him work up here too, because he is a gem. But I donated a whole bunch of stuff to the mission there in the county, and they took a lot of stuff. The guy helping me, he was able to get rid of TVs, because they're all tubes. The only flat screen he had was one I gave him for Christmas, and we brought that up and gave it to one of my kids. And so right now there's nothing in the living room, and one bedroom is empty except for a dresser that I'm going to bring up, and the other bedroom is empty except for a bed frame I'm going to bring up. And then there's the office that has not been touched, and I'm hoping that the closet's full of boxes from his last move that he never unpacked. And then most of that stuff I'm keeping. I told Ryan, I said, the guy working for me, I said, just assume I want everything. The only thing left in the kitchen are the dishes, and he's got, like, how everybody has a junk drawer? You open that drawer and you just throw junk in it, and then when you need something, you open that drawer to hope to find something. He has a junk closet that is exactly like a junk. It looks like the junk drawer, but it's a closet. And so I told Ryan, I said, well, the only thing I see in here that I want to keep that I could find useful right now is the light bulbs. And then he had some of them where he had switched out CF something bulbs with the LED bulbs. And I said, I don't want those because I'm not putting those back up because I have all high efficiency bulbs in my house. And then he said, what about the ones up there that are marked no good? I'm assuming he looked up and he had a box of light bulbs and then had taken masking tape and a marker on the outside of it and put no good. Now, why not just throw them away? Why would you put the box of no good light bulbs in your closet with the light bulbs? Why would you do that? You know, why not just throw them away? I don't, and then there was a thing of he was saving, this was broken glass. He put it in a envelope, like one of those manila envelopes that are padded, and then taped it shut, and then taped it again, and taped it again, and taped it again, and wrote broken glass all over the front and back of the envelope. And we opened it up thinking that, because it felt like a picture frame, so I thought maybe there was a picture in there. Well, there wasn't. It was a document frame, and it still had the thing that said document frame. There was no document in it. I don't know why we're keeping broken glass. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe you need it someday. I don't know. I wasn't a depression baby. I'm not understanding a lot of this stuff. I was finding pennies all over the house Friday. Everywhere I was doing something, there'd be pennies, pennies, pennies. And so I picked them up and put them in my pocket, and I said, it's okay, I forgive you for saving everything you ever had. We'll get through it. And so I went outside, and Ryan was out there, and I said, I've been finding pennies all over that house. He goes, I've been finding pennies all over this garage. He said, but I didn't even know him. And, but I just picked up the pennies, put them in my pockets, and I just looked up and said, thank you. And I said, well, he appreciates you helping me out, I'm sure. And he said, yeah. And so, I just think that's pretty wild that we're, pennies all over the place when we, for both in the garage and in the house. And I talk to him while I'm there because I can feel he's around. And so I ask him, but he doesn't answer me. Why are you keeping light bulbs that are bad? Why are you saving broken glass? I don't know. And why do we have every pay stub from 1985? So, a lot of stuff got rid of. The dumpster's full. It has to be emptied, and then there'll be some more. Luckily, outside wasn't too bad. It's a lot of rotten wood, and so when it dries out, he's just going to burn it. And then inside the shed wasn't a whole lot of stuff, and so I sold the lawnmower to Ryan and got rid of some stuff to his friends, and then we saved some stuff, and I brought up, so I was able to bring up his truck and our trailer that we, and his chair and his Brentwood rocker, which the boys wanted. And so one kid slept in the lazy boy chair that belonged to my dad, and the other one another one automatically sits in the chair. One jokes every time he sits down in it, now don't let me fall asleep, because that's That's what my dad would say every time he got in the chair, because he knew he was going to fall asleep. So he's teasing him about, don't let me fall asleep. And so they seem to be taking it all right. I didn't know how they would take the truck in here, but we had no choice. The truck had to be here. We had to get the truck here because it's the only thing that pulls a trailer. And so that was a have to. I just don't know how we're gonna get this done. The good news is we found out that the house has hardwood floors underneath the carpet. Yep. So they haven't decided if they want to rip up the floor or not, rip up the carpet or not, and make it a hardwood. Just have it hardwood through the house. I think it would look better if they did. I said, but I'm not going to do it. I am not going to sand it and varnish it or whatever has to be done, because we don't know what it looks like under the carpet. But it looks really good. The bedrooms never had carpet. They have hardwood floors in them, and they're gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. And so the hallway in the living room also has hardwood, but somebody put carpet down over it. And so we just have to see what the realtor wants to do. Right now, they're going to be taking care of what they can with the restrictions. Not sure if they're going to be able to come and go or not. I know I can't be down there until this thing blows over. If it, and I don't know how long that's going to be. So I went ahead and made him promise that he would finish the job. And I said, I've just never been through anything like this. And he said, me either. And I said, I don't know what to do. And at this point, we had some information that they were going to close the state, that they were going to restrict all travel in the state. And you had to have a pass, or not a pass, that sounds like a teacher thing. You had to have like a permit to be on the road if you were going to work or something. And so we were trying to hurry up and get as much done as we could and get out before this was called. Excuse me, but it's not been called, and I'm starting to doubt that it's going to be. I think it was somebody just making plans in case, and they're taking care of their employees and passing out the permits, so they could be out on the road and showing that if they get stopped, they're supposed to be. I don't know why that employer felt the need to do that now. That's where the information came from. So, I don't know. And it went, I don't know. But we were under that belief. And so, we can figure out what we needed to do, because I paid him half. Starting, I'm supposed to pay him half when it ends, and I said, I don't want you to wait months before you get paid. And I said, do you promise to finish it? And he said, well, my cousin's a realtor, she'll kill me if I don't finish it. Yes. And I said, well, let me go ahead and pay you. And he said, okay, I'm gonna write up a receipt that kind of explains what's going on. And so he wrote the receipt that he would finish, paid in full, and that he would finish the inside and the garage and help load the U-Haul after it was all done, when the quarantine was lifted. So I said, that sounds good, because it's not business as usual. It's just not. And people around here are kind of, some acting like it is business as usual, and some acting like it's not. And I would like to not have to go anywhere for a while. And like I said, I can't I'm not going to cancel the dentist appointment or orthodontist appointment. I'm not going to cancel the therapy appointments. So this week, that's all we're doing. I try to be as safe as I can. I'm not going down. I'm not getting in groups. I'm not going back to Marion until for a long time, I think. And because if it gets that tied up, they can't even show the house. So because people won't be allowed out on the roads. So I don't know. This has been a very long vlog, and it has not had anything to do with dementia, chronic illness, or anything. It's just basically life in quarantine. It can't get too exciting when your biggest thing you did today was go to the living room. I mean, it's just we've taken the cars out of the garage so one can skateboard, and I still have an extra kid down in the basement. Been cooking at home, which is unusual for us. We've there's just not much excitement, except Karen the rooster is being a pain in the butt, and he needs to either go in the backyard we need to get the coop done and put him in the backyard, or he needs to be dinner. Because right now, Lisa, am the only person, and I do mean only, and this was not this way, I think it has to do with mating season or something. I am the only person that he does not attack. And so the minute Karen attacks me, Karen's going to be our chicken dinner for the night. Because, no, that's not going to happen. And he needs to put a harness on him and tie him up like a dog. Because he's just out of hand. Completely out of hand. And I think it has a lot to do with mating. Because it's springtime. Today we're getting snow. 1 to 3 inches. Not enough to keep you home, but guess what? We're home anyway, so who cares? It's snow all at once. So if you stuck through this whole thing, put the word bedpost, because right there's my granny's bedpost. So no, let's do better. Put granny or granny's bedpost. And I want to see how many people made it to the end, because we're at 33 and 30 some odd 40 seconds. So I'm gonna let you go. Remember, live life to the fullest, live life, no regrets. We'll see you next time. Bye bye.